Hey man, let's clear the air and get straight to the point. Because the biggest issue most men face with women isn't about attraction, confidence, or even how they communicate. It's confusion. You're left wondering when she says one thing but does the opposite. You're baffled when she pulls away right after getting close. One day she's warm and affectionate, the next she's distant and cold. But here's the game changer, something that'll flip everything for you. Women aren't designed to make logical sense. They're designed to feel. And if you keep trying to decode her like a logical equation, you'll spend your life spinning in circles, frustrated, heartbroken, and lost. After this, though, confusion won't stand a chance. Because once you grasp the nature of the feminine, how it dances in contrast to the masculine, it all starts to click. Here's the first truth you need to internalize. Women move through emotion, not logic. That's not a bug. It's the blueprint. Her words come from how she feels in that moment, not necessarily a permanent truth. So when she says, "I love you," she absolutely means it right then. When she says, I don't ever want to lose you," she feels that in the now. But that doesn't mean those words are a vow set in stone for tomorrow. And if you, as a man, take her emotional expressions as fixed promises, you'll always be caught off guard when her behavior shifts. But the moment you recognize her words as moment-driven emotional truths, the fog lifts. You stop attaching. You start noticing. Understand this. A woman's feelings are like tides, ever-changing. One moment she's craving your presence, next she's in space, all in, next she's unsure. And if you're trying to match every emotional wave she rides, you'll become detected, ungrounded. This is where most men get wrong. They try to respond to her every feeling, thinking that's what she needs. But it's not. You're not built to mirror her emotional shifts. You're built to ground her. Your strength as a man lies in your stability, not an emotional mimicry. Your role isn't to surf her waves. Your role is to be the anchor beam. Once that clicks, her mood swings no longer shake your foundation. You don't get thrown off when you leave. Women chase emotion because her pulse is not just a pulse. That's why she might go for the guy who makes her feel wanted, not offers her stability. It's not about safety, it's about feeling. This is why the nice guys often get left behind. They're steady, predictable, and uninspired. They create comfort, not excitement. And when her emotions go unstirred, she doesn't need it. She failed, but because her emotional compass is guiding her somewhere else. Here's the twist. Sometimes she doesn't even know why. She might not understand why she's detached. She may not be able to explain why this spark's fading. She's not hiding anything. She's just following an emotional rhythm even she can't interpret. If you try to force logic into that emotional space, if you demand explanations, clarity, or reasoning, you only create more distance, because now you're speaking a language she's not tuned into. She's not in logic. She's in emotion. And emotion doesn't bow to interrogation. It responds to energy. When you stop needing verbal clarity and start trusting behavioral patterns, you stop being misled. Her words might dazzle, confuse, even manipulate. But her actions never lie. She says she loves you but never makes time for you. There's your answer. She claims she's just confused but goes out partying and ignores her texts. That is the answer. Quit waiting for emotional growth. Quit waiting for the perfect explanation. You don't need it. Her behavior is the truth. Here's where it gets deeper. Women test men, often without. Every cold text, every delayed response, every swing of mood. It's usually an unconscious test, a test of your solidity. One of the biggest traps men fall into is thinking consistency alone will keep them. Consistency builds trust, yes, but trust without emotional variety becomes monotony. You can't show up every day with the same script, the same tone, and expect her to remain emotionally charged. She needs polarity. She needs unpredictability. She needs to feel like there are still parts of you to discover. When everything is handed to her too easily, but when you stay a little misted, do you panic when she goes quiet? Do you beg for reassurance when she pulls away? If you do, you lose ground. What she's really looking for is your emotional leadership. She wants to feel your frame. She needs to know you're unmoved, even when she's a whirlwind. The moment she senses she's leading the emotional rhythm, attraction begins to dissolve. Her attraction hinges more on how you make her feel. Most guys overshare. They go on and on about how much they care, how loaded they are, how deeply they fall into those words won't matter if she's already emotionally locked in. If she's not, all your confessions do is add pressure. Your emotions can't create her feelings. They can only answer what's already there. So don't lead with emotion. Lead with energy. Lead with presence. Lead with calm, masculine certainty. That's what she feels before anything else. Bias, a little untouchable, a little Your job is to protect your peace. Don't fall for her potential. See her clearly, not through the lens of your own longing. Walk away when her actions don't meet the emotional standard you've set. Here's a hard pill. A woman will never respect a man who needs her more than she needs him. That imbalance drains attraction. She doesn't want to be your center. She wants to orbit your purpose. If you give up your grind for her, if you lose focus trying to keep her, if your world revolves around her emotional needs, you go from being her gift to being her burden, and over time, even if she can't explain it, she'll resent that. She wants a man who leads, not one who holds her down. So if you want to end confusion, start following her script. Write your own. Set your boundaries. Define your standards. Decide what you should. Decide what you will and won't accept. Stop reacting. Start leading. That's what creates magnetism. That's what ends the game. That's what brings not just her affection, but her respect. Detach from outcome. Be willing to lose her if it means keeping her power. Because the moment you fear losing her, you start losing you. You start giving too much. You start over-explaining. You start morphing into what you think she wants. And in doing that, you kill the exact presence that you created. The man who doesn't chase, doesn't panic, doesn't overanalyze. Because he knows her confusion is hers to navigate, not his to solve. A woman can't confuse a man who's from internal validation, everything changes. You don't rely on her praise to feel worthy. You don't need her attention to feel valuable. You're whole, and from that place, you connect. You choose her, but you don't chase her. You express interest, but you don't never exist. And in that space, confusion disappears. Clarity emerges. If she ghosts, let her. If she's inconsistent, if she plays games, stop engaging. Not out of spite, but out of self-respect. You don't scold her. You don't guilt her. You simply pull back her energy. Silence. It speaks volumes. It announces your worth without a single word. Everyone's meant for you. No returns to love. Once go, they never belong anymore. Here's your new rule. If it brings confusion, it doesn't belong in your life. The right one will make you miserable. She may have words, yes, but she won't play games. She may test you, but she'll honor your boundaries. If you feel constantly anxious, exhausted, you're not in love. You're trapped in emotional walls. And as a man with purpose, that's not where your energy belongs. You don't fix it. This day forward, confusion no longer gets to hold space. You don't chase women who don't choose you. You don't do it in silence. You don't beg for love. You observe. You remain grounded and you let her feel your presence, not your performance. You're done guessing. Now women aren't confusing. What's confusing is expecting emotional storms to follow logical maps. What's confusing is taking fleeting feelings as eternal truths. But now you see it clearly. Her emotions are not a GPS. They're a weather forecast. They shift, they move, but you stay the mountain, unshaken, rooted, unapologetically masculine. From now on, no more confusion, no more chasing, no more explaining yourself into exhaustion. You're a man of calm, of strength, of presence. You understand the feminine, you respect it. You never let it steer you, and that, right there, is the moment you stop being played. That's the moment you stop overthinking. That's when you become the man who doesn't need to wonder what she's thinking, because